Hello, it's me, Steven. Welcome back to my channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make wontons. It's really simple. Simple ingredients. Basically, I went to the Chinese market and I bought ground pork, mushrooms, green onions, watercress, water chestnuts for the crunch, and the wonton wrappers, and eggs. I don't add shrimp to mine because I don't like shrimp, so don't judge me, because if you judge me, I judge you. And I will show you how to make it. So let's get started. So here are all the ingredients that you will need. Basically, it's what I just mentioned. It's pretty simple. You can add whatever you want to add. I don't really care, but just don't add too much because you gotta wrap it up in this wonton. And basically, the hard part is really the chopping up the mushrooms, the water chestnuts, the watercress, and the green onions, and then mixing it all in a bowl with the ground pork and egg. And you can add a little, salt, pepper, garlic powder, breadcrumbs, things like that. So let's get the chopping. That doesn't make sense. Let the chopping begin. I got my large bowl I'm going to put everything in, which is going to be a good bowl to mix it in. And I'm going to cut the mushrooms now, the water chestnuts, watercress, and green onions. Mushrooms cut the easiest, so I'm going to start with that first. We'll see you in a bit. So that's the chopped up mushrooms. And I realized you could probably use a food processor, and that would be so much better and saves you so much time, but obviously I don't have one, so I'm cutting everything with a knife. And next up is the water chestnuts for that crunch. Water chestnut has been cut for the crunch and mixed with the mushrooms. And next up is the green onions and the cilantro. Boom. So I forgot to mention, you should probably cut some ginger. Not too much because ginger is very powerful in taste. And then add a spoonful of garlic as well into your marinated refrigerated pork with all the other ingredients. And then you can start wrapping up the wontons. These are the 4 ingredients of seasoning that I will use. Well, 3 and then oil for the pork. We are done. It looks beautiful. Look at that. Yes. Yes. Get the focus. Yes. And now you just chill it in the fridge for 3 hours, let it marinate, or overnight, whatever you want to, and then we will start making wontons with the wrappers and boiling it. So we're going to start with taking the wonton wrapper, putting it on a plate, dipping your finger into the egg, and then just put it on all 4 corners so it makes the wrapper stick, and then get a spoon. Get the ground pork filling, put it in the middle, and then the fun part is basically wrapping it like a present. Basically just gonna do all the corners, tie it together. And if it doesn't stick, just get more egg wash, and then just wrap it. And then voila, a tiny little wonton. You just put it on the sheet with oil. And then we put this, it's all gonna be done. You put it all into the boiling pot of water, and then you have your wontons. So now that all the wontons are been wrapped in the wonton wrapper, you're gonna dump each of them delicately into the pot of boiling water that has been added with soy sauce. I'm gonna use a chopstick. You can use whatever you want. Gently dump it in, and it doesn't take too long to cook. It takes about 3 minutes to cook. Some might break apart. I'm hoping they don't, but you never know. Just dump them all in there. Hi, so now we're gonna start cooking everything and wrapping up the wontons, but while we're wrapping the wontons, you can start boiling the water like this. I put it to like medium heat so it doesn't boil because it's gonna take some time to wrap the wontons. And the reason why the water is dark is because I put soy sauce and garlic salt to give it a little more flavor and texture and flavor, mainly more for flavor and the color scheme. And so right now we're gonna start preparing to put the wontons on. You get a foil sheet, cookie sheet, spray some oil, And then you want to crack 2 eggs so they stick. When we do the wonton wrappers, when you put the ground pork and everything into the wrappers so they stick. And then it will be tasting good once you boil it. So now they're about to be done, like 2-3 minutes like I said, or they rise up too in the pot. And then you just use one of these little bad boys and then you grab it. Oh, there goes my dog buttons. Just put it on your pot. Like that. Looks really good and it smells really good too. And it's good facial. Now that it's done sitting onto a plate, you can add some parsley flakes to give it a little color. Or you could add some of the broth as well. And this is what the wontons look like when it's done and plated. Now it is my favorite part, the tasting part. I'm sure it tastes really good, but it's really hot, so make sure you blow. The ginger adds a lot of flavor, and the pork has been marinated, so it's really good. Really good. So I hope you enjoy this recipe, and it can feed about 4 people probably, and you can add noodles or ramen with it too, so hope you enjoy it.